It was meant to be a struggle, a rematch of their Auckland Classic, a showdown between a rising star and a champion on a winning streak. Then the announcement was made, though. The quietest, most startling development of the entire competition. No warning, no justification. It had been a walkover for Alex Eala. Without using a racket, she advanced to the second round. Fans who had prepared their shouts of Laban, painted their faces, and traveled across oceans were left speechless. How did Danovic fare? Why was the game abruptly cancelled? And why is this the most contentious and fortunate moment in Alex Eala's grass season, according to the tennis community? June 14, 2026, Berlin, Germany. The stage was set for a classic on the eve of combat at Rottweil Tennis Club. Alex Eala had come to Berlin with a goal and a wild card. A few days prior, the 21-year-old Filipina had been placed in the WTA 500 tournament's qualifying rounds and had to battle through 3 rounds in order to advance to the main event. However, the tournament officials pulled her from qualifying and gave her a direct entry into the main draw after realizing the widespread occurrence known as the AY effect. The flags of the Philippines were prepared. The fans were ready. Alex Eala was prepared. She had to be. 9 of the top 10 players in the world were on the Berlin pitch. Jessica Pegula, Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina, and the recently crowned French Open champion Mira Andreeva, whose sudden withdrawal had already rocked the field. Eala had already demonstrated her ability to compete on grass, but her route to the final was perilous. Her victory at the Birmingham Open, her entrance on the court, was marked by a tough 5-7-3-7-7-5 victory over Nikola Bartonova, which ended a 13-match losing run against Czech competitors. She might secure her Wimbledon seeding with a strong performance in Berlin. However, a streaking champion who had just written one of the most unlikely fairy tales of the grass season stood in her way. Donna Vajk of Croatia had arrived in Berlin with a surge of energy that very few athletes ever encounter. A few days prior, the 29-year-old had qualified for the main draw of the Queen's Club Championships as a lucky loser, but he was able to participate after another player pulled out. She had used that second opportunity to win the tournament, defeating Emma Raducanu 6-0-7-6-6 of Britain in the final to earn her 6th career trophy and first WTA 500 championship. She intended to take her form to Berlin after the triumph, which had greatly boosted her confidence. Eala was familiar with the Croatian veteran, who was affectionately referred to as Manila's adopted Tata after her outstanding performance at the WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open. Prior to this year, the two had already met twice. At the ASB Classic in Auckland, Eala had drawn first blood, overcoming a setback to win 466-464. She defeated Vij 63-64 in an exhibition at the Kwang Classic a week later. Although the matches took place on hard courts, Eala won the head-to-head contest 2-0. Vajk was a different player, and this was grass. The fans now anticipated a fight. A story was anticipated by the media. Although a presentation was anticipated, the competition had already fallen into anarchy. Before the first ball was hit, 6 players had pulled out, necessitating a significant reorganization of the draw. Just hours after the draw, world number 4 Amanda Anisimova withdrew on Sunday due to back pain. Coco Gauff advanced to the first round seeded by her late exit. The recently crowned French Open champion, Mira Andreeva, had stated that her schedule had changed. The player who had recently defeated Alice at Queen's Club, Eva Jovic, a personal friend, had pulled out. SRA, Jasmine Pellini, and Victoria Bu had also withdrawn. Donna Vajk was playing in the Queen's Club final on Sunday night, only hours before the Berlin Open draw was decided, thus her availability was still up in the air. She was worn out yet determined when she arrived in Berlin. In 5 days, she had won 4 games. She had a streak. She exuded confidence. She thought she could continue to win. However, things had changed due to the confusion of the draw rearrangement. The game was still planned. Fans continued to wait. The flags of the Philippines remained prepared. Nobody anticipated that the conflict would never take place. June 15, 2026, Berlin, Germany. Office of the Rottweil Tennis Club tournament at 10:17 a.m., the announcement was posted on the official Berlin Open website. Just one sentence that would send shockwaves through the tennis world: no caution, no justification. Eala advances to round 16 after defeating Vajk walkover. The story quickly went viral on social media in a matter of minutes. Filipino fans were left staring at their screens in shock after staying up past midnight, booking hotels and tickets, and depleting their savings accounts to be there. For center court, thousands of tickets had been sold. The flags of the Philippines were prepared. Leon's chants were about to reverberate throughout the storied Steffi Graf Stadium. Then it was all gone in an instant. Officials from the event declined to comment on the reasons behind the walkover. The WTA released a brief statement, citing unanticipated events but providing no details. There were rumors that Vejc had been hurt during her Queen's Club victory. In just 5 days, the Croatian had played 4 games, including a taxing final versus Emma Raducanu. Others cited the disorganized draw, which had already been rearranged by 6 prominent withdrawals, including Victoria Boko, Amanda Animova, Mira, Alex Eala, and Eva Jovic. There were rumors of a scheduling difficulty, but no formal confirmation was ever given. The scene outside center court at the Rot-Weiss Tennis Club was one of bewilderment and incredulity. Filipino supporters who had prepared their placards, painted their faces, and come hours early suddenly stood in stunned silence. While some sobbed, others insisted on answers. A fan wrote, "I flew 6,000 m to watch Alex play, I took time off work, I spent money I didn't have," while others just sat on the pavement with their flags flying and their dreams smashed from Manila. The WTA owes us an explanation. The match that was supposed to be a battle turned into a controversy, and the tennis community demanded answers. Now, the match is cancelled without explanation, which is unacceptable. Another wrote thousands of tickets, sold Philippine flags, and prepared the possibility of Leon ready before they pulled the plug. Just before she was about to come onto center court, Ella herself found out about the walkover. Sources close to her camp reported that she responded with silent disbelief. A Filipino journalist was informed by a source that she didn't say much. She simply returned to the locker room after packing her bag. It was evident in her eyes. She was thinking. Ella advanced to the round of 16 without using a racket thanks to the walkover. Elena Rybakina or her next opponent, a player who had earned their spot via combat while she had advanced without doing any work at all, would now confront her. Some referred to it as a sign that the cosmos was on Elle's side, while others dubbed it luck. However, the walkover was just another chapter in a season that had been anything but typical for a player who had already faced fines, fees, and banishment from the elite player development camp. And the tennis community was just starting to respond. June 15, 2026, Berlin, Germany. Office for the Rottweil Tennis Club tournament. The walkover was not an isolated incident. It was the most recent development in a competition that had been thrown into disarray from the start. Before the first ball was hit, 6 players had pulled out, necessitating a significant reorganization of the draw. Only a few hours later, Amanda Animova, ranked 4th in the world, had withdrawn on Sunday due to back pain. It was a draw. Coco Gauff was upgraded to a seeded first-round bye by her late departure. The recently crowned French Open champion, Mira Andreeva, had stated that her schedule had changed. The player who had just defeated ISA at Queen's Club, Eva Jovic, a close friend of ISA's, had retreated. Saran Casta, Jasmine Pellini, and Victoria Maboko had also withdrawn. The organizers of the tournament had rushed to fill the voids. Alternates and fortunate losers advanced to the main draw. Even when the draw was altered, the harm was already done. Suddenly, some of the biggest stars in the tournament, 9 of the top 10 players in the world, were absent. Donna Vejc came next. The Croatian was worn out but unwavering when he landed in Berlin. She had just finished an exhausting run at Queen's Club. In 5 days, 4 games were played, including a final triumph over Emirata Kananu 6,076-6. She had risen in the rankings and won her first WTA 500 title, but there was no denying the physical toll. Was she hurt? Those close to Vejc's camp speculated that she had succumbed to exhaustion, although the tournament never verified this. She had no time to recuperate due to the hectic schedule, which included playing a final on Sunday night and being scheduled to participate in Berlin on Monday. At Queen's Club, she gave it her all. Vejc wanted to compete in Berlin, a person close to her informed a journalist covering the tournament. Her body would not allow her to face Alex, even if she wanted to. When questioned, the WTA did not provide an explanation. The displeasure was exacerbated by the regulating body's silence. Transparency was requested by fans. The player who advanced without swinging a racket, Alex Eala, was left to get ready for a second-round match against world number 2 Elena Rybakina after analysts questioned the tournament schedule. Although the walkover was surprising, it also indicated that ISA was new and hazardous. Berlin, Germany, Manila, Philippines, other places. The date of the walkover is June 15, 2026. The tennis world erupted within minutes of the announcement of the walkover. In the Philippines, Germany, the UK, the US, and Australia, the hashtag Eala walkover was the most popular. Fans experienced a bewildering range of feelings after traveling across oceans, depleting savings accounts, and taking valuable vacation days to watch their favorite fight. A fan from Manila wrote, "I'm glad Alex advanced, but I traveled 6,000 meters to watch her play. I wanted to watch her battle. I hoped she would prevail. This seems hollow." "A win is a win," wrote someone else. "After everything she's been through, Alex deserves a rest. The WTA's nonsense, the fines, the costs. I'll accept it if the universe is at last on her side." "She was prepared to compete," said a third admirer. "She was prepared for combat. She now has a free pass to the second round. She didn't want to win this way, but she will accept it and use it to her advantage." There was chaos outside center court at the Rotweiss Tennis Club. Filipino supporters who had prepared their placards, painted their faces, and come hours early suddenly stood in stunned silence. While some sobbed, others insisted for reimbursements. Some just waited on the sidewalk, their flags waving, their hopes of seeing their champion compete dashed. Officials from the tournament hurried to limit the damage. In order to keep the crowd back, security forces erected human barricades, but the questions persisted. Why was the game called off? Why was there no justification? What became to Donna Vake? Players from the past and present also shared their thoughts. "A walkover is never how you want to advance, but Alex has been through so much this season," tweeted Coco Gauff, who had faced Ella several times and had grown close to her while on tour. "She ought to take a vacation. Go grab Rybakina now." Ella's doubles partner at the BOD Hamburg Open, Venus Williams, wrote, "A walkover is a strange way to advance. However, after fighting all season, Alex has earned every bit of luck that has come her way. Now, she can relax and get ready for the most important game of her grass campaign." Walks are never ideal, but they are a part of the game, according to Billie Jean King. Alex Eala has shown incredible resilience this season. This is not how she wanted to advance, but she will take full advantage of the opportunity. However, not everyone was celebrating. Some analysts questioned the draw's fairness after 6 withdrawals, a draw reshuffle, and now a walkover.